I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I call to order the Wickliffe City Council meeting of September 8, 2025. Sandy, please call the roll.
Taylor.
Here.
Hartsbeck.
Here.
Jaworski.
Here.
Kosky. Here. Levon.
Here.
Saloto. Here. Thielman.
Here.
Approval of council minutes. Councilman Garrison.
I make a motion, we approve the minutes for the public hearing on the tax budget of June 23rd, 2025.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Hartstein, seconded by Councilwoman Saloto, that the council meeting minutes for the 2025 tax budget hearing of June 23rd be approved as presented. Discussion? Sandy, please call the roll.
Gallo.
Yes.
Hartsbeck.
Yes.
Jaworski.
Yes.
Kosky. Yes. Levon.
Yes.
Saloto. Yes. Thielman.
Yes.
Councilman Hartstein.
I make a motion that we approve the city council meeting minutes of June 23rd, 2025.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Hartstein, seconded by Councilwoman Kosky, that the council meeting minutes of June 23rd be approved as presented. Discussion? Sandy, please call the roll.
Gallo.
Yes.
Hartsbeck.
Yes.
Jaworski.
Yes.
Kosky. Yes. Levon.
Yes.
Saloto. Yes. Thielman.
Yes.
Councilman Hartstein.
I make a motion, we approve the city council special meeting minutes of July 14th, 2025.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Hartstein, seconded by Councilman Kosky, that the special meeting of July 14, 2025 be approved as presented. Discussion? Sandy, please call the roll.
Gallo.
Yes.
Hartsbeck.
Yes.
Jaworski.
Yes.
Kosky. Yes. Levon.
Yes.
Saloto. Yes. Thielman.
Yes. So Renee will get tired.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna take over this last one.
Go right ahead.
I'd like to approve the minutes of the special meeting on August 6, 2025.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Ballas, seconded by Councilman Hartstein, that the meeting minutes of the special meeting of August 6, 2025 be approved as presented. Discussion? Sandy, please call the roll.
Gallo.
Yes.
Hartsbeck.
Yes.
Jaworski.
Yes.
Kosky. Yes. Levon.
Yes.
Saloto. Yes. Thielman.
Yes.
Okay, reports and communications from the Mayor, Safety Director.
Thank you, Council President. I'd like to apologize. I had throat surgery over a week and a half ago. I am not sick. My voice is about 85%, so I apologize. 6 concerts, 3 at Colby, the 3 at the center, at the community center. They were awesome. I hope at least one of you are able to attend one of these events, and we'll be working on securing performers for next summer. In August, I was honored to present a proclamation to Wickliffe native Jane Kennedy. Jane's quite accomplished in many areas, including acting, modeling, marketing, so on. And the interview I did with her should be on the city website soon. I received an application for residential CRA in July and would like to ask that this be put in the committee for council's consideration. We're still waiting on OLA. So they've had a few challenges. Their last thing, they are ready to go. They gotta repave that whole road leading down there and the parking lot, but they're having drainage issues. So as soon as that issue is dealt with, they will pave it, they will open. I will update everyone. This Thursday, September 11th, there will be a commemoration of Patriot Day at Liberty Gardens beginning at 8:30 a.m. All are invited to attend this solemn event. Our safety forces and American Legion will be in attendance, and thank you to Councilperson Hartstein for spearheading this event. This Saturday, September 14th, Wickliffe Forever will again host Rock the Mansion on the front lawn beginning at 5 p.m. Ace Molnar will open. Wide Awake, the U2 experience. The concert will be followed by fireworks. Join us for this free event. Food trucks and adult beverages will be available for purchase. And finally, September 14th, please plan to join me at Club Molisani for our 2nd annual tailgate beginning at noon. We'll have shuttle service from CPL to parking lot, and there will be parking at surrounding streets and businesses that surround Club Molisani. We're partnering with OLMC, with the football boosters, the band's involved a little bit also, and Club Molisani. There'll be a lot of food, Pre-game DJ, cornhole, all that stuff. Browns versus Ravens, and there'll be a huge screen. It's like a mini jumbotron. And just want to thank all the sponsors for that, and that's all I have.
Quick question, was one of the first things you said, was it the residential CRA for Old School Way? Is that what you stated, or just for residential CRAs?
It's for the old school village, I believe.
Okay, well, that's already in
Yes.
committee. We just, are we ready to meet on that eventually, or soon?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions or comments for the mayor, safety director? Councilwoman Kowski?
I attended the football thing last year. It was very nice. It was not well attended. I think the weather was a little off. Right. Yeah, but it was really well done. It would
Right.
just need the people to come. So
Yeah, so that's why we moved it up a
it was,
week.
yeah, it was worth it. It was worth attending.
I just
Yeah.
hope that the sun stays, 24% chance.
Yeah. It's clear.
Right.
Any other questions or comments for the mayor, safety director? Thank you, Mayor. Reports and communications from the director of law.
Nothing to report, Council President.
Any questions or comments for the law director? Councilman Jaworski.
Jeremy, I'm just curious, it's something that I haven't asked in a while, but whatever happened with the, I think it was the employee handbook, or the city policies? I know you were working on that last year, and we never saw a draft or anything. Is it done?
The writing of the draft actually is done. Let Mike, the new finance director, go through it as well, make sure the portions that apply to him are workable. We do also have to add a cybersecurity policy to it as well. The actual drafting of it is completed. So it's just getting the last couple of pieces of review and be ready to go.
At what point will you be prepared to get it to city council for, just so we have it?
I would probably say by the first meeting of next month.
Okay, thank you.
Councilman Hartstein?
Mr. Lederer, before we went into summer session, council asked for legislation to remove Chapter 1151 fire limits. Do you know when that should be ready for us to look at?
Yeah, I can probably have that prepared by next meeting.
All right.
I may give you a call.
All right.
Any further questions or comments for the law director? Thank you, Jeremy. Reports and communications from the council president. I have none. Any amendments or additions to the agenda? Councilman Hartstein?
I'd like to add Chapter 1341 rezoning. And I'd like to go along with, I'd like to add something to the mayor's, about the CRA. If we were not talking about the application, could I add the CRA application to that, to either add it to the committee or add it to the agenda tonight? Just so it gets into a committee, please.
For residential or just
Yeah,
CRA application?
it's for the old school way.
Understand
Yeah,
that
residential.
the application.
Yes.
Okay, so we will add, like, according to this agenda, the 13.4 will be chapter 1341 rezoning, and then number 13.5 will be CRA residential application. Any other additions or amendments to the agenda?
Do we have to add the slab, concrete slab?
That's a new business
Okay,
area.
sorry.
Anything else? If not, move on to administrator reports. Please, Chief Bush.
Thank you, Council President. I just have a couple things. We finished our dispatcher interviews, and we had over 50 applicants for the open positions, which was very encouraging, some very, very good applicants. I will be making a decision later this week. I've met with the finance director. I am going to need a little bit of extra money put into the dispatcher line item because we are hiring an extra one, with foreseeing the one retiring. So to get him trained, I'm going to need about 2.5 to 3 months of extra salary put into that. He said that should be no problem. And then hopefully I would also like to hire another part-time dispatcher, which would require just a little bit more money put in that account as well, with your guys' approval on that one. And then last week we just opened up the patrol test in the NTN. So that'll be open for about a month, and then hopefully we'll be able to hire our first officer to be fully manpowered. Yes.
Any questions or comments, please, Chief? Councilman Bala.
Yeah, I just want to make a comment. You know, I was at a Kool-Aid stand on Rockefeller a couple of weeks ago, and an officer was there, and he was so polite, and he called the other officers, and they came just to support, you know, a cause.
Yeah.
And I just want to say thank you for the direction, you know, the police department's going and your leadership.
Thanks, I'm glad to hear that. I always encourage our guys when you see something like that to stop and to make sure you visit and at least say hi to the kid and just make an impression on them. So thank you.
Any further questions or comments for the police chief? Councilman Hartstein.
Chief, to follow up on your staffing with the dispatchers, how much, does that have anything to do with the new 911 from the county?
No, not yet. No,
Okay.
no, this is just gonna keep us staffed fully where we're at.
So if the county forces that, you'll have to hire
I have some
additional?
plans to hopefully take care of that without encumbering much more manpower with just doing with what we have. It may end up removing an officer off the road, might have to handle that, and that's gonna short our manpower on the road, but it'll save the city money by not having to hire one or two more dispatchers by doing that. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I have a little time to work on that.
And then my last question on your staffing is, do you know the date that the gentleman that's deployed is due
I
back?
believe he's due back February,
Okay.
I believe.
So we still have 5 months or so?
Yeah,
All right.
correct.
Thanks, Chief. Sure.
Councilwoman Koski.
How are the cameras in the parks? Did we have any problems this summer at any of the parks?
No, we
or
were
anything?
very fortunate and had very few incidents. Actually, down at Gindra, the cameras came in very helpful twice, where people were caught going into the pool late at night, and they broke the one sign by scaling it, and the dispatchers who were watching the cameras were able to get our guys down there right away, and we caught everybody. And they were not Wickliffe residents, they were Cleveland residents who decided to come do a late night swim and then run from us.
All right,
But they were all charged.
all right, thank you.
Any further questions or comments for the police chief? Thank you, Chief. Fire Chief, Captain O'Neill for the fire department.
I have nothing to add to Chief Gross's report.
Okay. Any questions or comments for the fire department? Thank you, Captain. Finance Director Mattis.
Thank you, President. As reported before to the board, or council, I should say, June and July monthly reports have been provided to the board. I did the July. I'm finishing up the August. I expect that to be at the next board meeting. We just got the bank statement as of Thursday. That's why it's not done today. Just to give a brief update, with July being about 58% of the year through, we're right on track with our expenditures and our revenues based on that. We're trending right towards that. There will be a couple ordinances and resolutions for the council to consider today. One is for appropriation transfer. One is for the street lighting, and with that, that's the same millage that it was last year. There will also be a yearly resolution on here accepting the rates of the tax budget commission. Mr. Ness and myself went a couple weeks ago to the county and sat through the budget commission about accepting the rates. They're the same rates that were proposed in the tax budget. And the last thing that will be is we're going to do a request for advance payment of taxes. The normal 3 readings, that will be the first reading today. That will not be into effect until the year 2026 for that. To go along with what Chief Bush and what Chief Grossman, I did have meetings with them. The fire department appears that it will be able to be transferred within various payroll line items to meet their budget. They will not be asking for any additional funds at this time. And in regards to the police, the amount with that Chief Bush and I discussed was about $20,000, and we're gonna look at that throughout the remainder of the year to see if we can transfer or if we'll have to do an increase coming up with that. I just want to thank all the council. This is my first official meeting, so thank you guys for letting me become your finance director. And I just want to say I've worked with a lot of the departments so far. I've been here. This is the start of my 6th week, and everyone's been very helpful. And hopefully you guys are all pleased with the work that you are receiving from me so far. Thank you.
Councilwoman Kowski.
I'd like to thank you for all of the reports. It was almost overwhelming to go through everything, but excellent for informing us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Saloto.
Yeah, I just want to thank you too, and I love the way you bullet point things and put things just, you know, you send us a lot of data, but then you summarize stuff, which is really great. Beautiful way you do it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any further questions or comments for the finance director? Thank you, Mike. Engineer for Minka.
Thank you, Council President. I have nothing to add to my written report.
Any questions or comments for the Councilwoman Kowski?
You know, we still have issues with speeding on some of our larger roads, and the speed sign isn't always a deterrent. I know I had brought up in the past, like, some sort of like removable seasonal speed humps. I don't know if that's something we could address again, like you put a sign that says, you know, speed hump ahead, and have it there for a month or two, and it's something that could be taken up so it's not,
I could look into that again. I have in the past, and it's always been more difficult to do than just easily, let's put a speed bump in, but I'll look into that.
She's just saying a sign, right?
no, a sign, and then you have like a removable, like a big rubber speed hump that's in the road, and, you know, it's there for a month or two with a sign so people are aware, and, you know, you're definitely not gonna be speeding over that. And then you could take it up so the plows can go in the wintertime, and, you know, it'd just be a summer.
We can look into a seasonal type speed bump and see what the laws are about
Okay,
that.
okay, thank you.
Councilman Jaworski.
Pete, can you give us an update on State Route 84, specifically what happened, I guess, on this portion of it where they had already done some work?
Yes, sir. There was a material quality deficiency, let's call it, from the asphalt plant for this section of the north side of Ridge Road here from Johnson to Lincoln, just about. And ODOT said, this material's not good enough, rip it out. So I immediately called, after seeing that Thursday night when we were meeting, I called ODOT and said, we're not paying for this, right? He said, no, it's not on the city of Wickliffe. This is purely they put down material that wasn't of the right quality, so they're just, and I'm quite impressed actually that they made them do that, which is awesome. So we're getting good quality and checks and balances. So
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Does this then push the timeline of the project back at all?
I doubt it. No. They'll come back when they come back to do the eastern half. They'll knock that out. That's not.
Speaking of the eastern half, it looks like there's some growing potholes along the joints that are getting
Yes.
pretty big.
Yes, I
Is that
also
gonna be
called ODOT about that on Friday and said, hey, we need to get these guys out here to fill these up. And then we had that rainstorm which washed it out. It's just the loose gravel that they fill in those holes with, and it's getting washed out. So I'll get a hold of them again and see what we do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilman Ballot.
Just asking about the Sherbrooke situation, the flooding. of
Yes,
the hills. Have we,
we've phase one is in effect and working right now. The next step is to do more design and making that detention basin larger so that we can have just an extra assurance of to prevent the flooding. So we did try to get with ODOT on that. That's a whole other department of ODOT, but we try to just have a sit down with them, explain what we want, but that didn't fly. So we need to submit plans and all sorts of things so that we can get our next measures taken care of. But in the meantime, we knock on wood, we haven't had any flooding, so.
Well, we had that one, and then
Yes, but
they've been through many times.
Dave's department took care of that, in a sense. And I don't wanna tell you how.
Okay.
Okay.
Any further questions or comments for the city engineer? Councilman Hartstein.
Pete, on the Sunset Development,
Yes.
the dirt pile,
Mhm.
what is the dirt, not the dirt pile they're moving, the dirt pile that looked like it was gonna be part of the aesthetics?
Mhm. It looks like they're starting to take it down,
Are
but
they?
then it
Okay.
kinda stopped when we got some weather, so.
They are taking that down to where,
They were given the option to either take it down or to come to planning commission for with a revised grading plan. And we have not received any revised plans.
the reason I ask that, when you're in the planning commission and those plans came across, I sit in those, and that wasn't
Right.
part of the original plans for that, was
Correct.
that mound of dirt, so that's why I'm asking, because,
That's right.
all right, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, just to elaborate on that, I let Councilman Jaworski know, yeah, they wanted to try to keep that there, thinking what, and, it wasn't a part of the site grading plan. I said, absolutely not. It was kind of a week or two, you know, back and forth over. At the end of the day, I get it, but it isn't our responsibility. Got the money that they spent and everything like that. So I said, your only hope would be to go to planning commission, but we're done with mounds around here. You know, so I feel, you know, at first he said he was thinking about coming, but I think they're gonna remove it, put it down to flat. So we don't have to deal. I'm hoping.
Thank you.
Any further questions or comments for the city engineer? Thank you, Pete. Service Director Kropchak.
Thank you, Council President Levon. I have a couple things to add. About a week and a half ago, I met with, and Chief Bush, we met with State Route 2, the commissioners and service directors and the lawyers and stuff like that. They're going to be renegotiating the contract for Route 2. They never updated the lane mileage, what we're getting charged for now, since they widened it. So we are going to, our lane millage, I think that part of it's gonna go up. They haven't gotten to the point, we still have a couple committee meetings we're gonna have to meet for it. And then also the street lighting, or the freeway lighting, is also a big concern. Ours is good because, you know, when we got the Warden Road Bridge done, ours is upgraded. I asked a few questions on like, you know, then what's gonna be with Wickliffe's work, what's gonna be our part of it, like, to fix and everything else, but they kind of basically saying that they're going to have we're gonna have to maintain those lights. And it's not set in stone yet, but that's what they're gonna be trying to do. What else? I mean, they even all like the brought up the garbage, and brought up a lot of things in that meeting, and it was kind of like, we'll work on it. And Chief Bush was there, they kind of nipped around the bucket a little bit, like,
Right.
you know, like, we're gonna tell you what you're gonna do, but it was like, there was all the other people there that were kind of like, no, I think we're gonna talk about this first, so,
Basically, it was be prepared, you're gonna get charged more.
yeah. They haven't updated the contract for years, I think it was '09 is when they updated it. And then also, on the September 22nd, the other part of the old school way, they're gonna start doing their dirt removal, build for the townhomes. So you'll see that going up soon too.
Any questions or comments for the service director? Councilman Hartstein.
I have a couple questions, Dave. On the Route 2, I think it'd be fair to say that we agree if we had to pay more, that would be fine, but they're not taking care of the mowing the grass along the freeway. You guys end up taking care of that. I mean, they don't take care of the bridges, they don't take care of the streetlights now that what we pay for. So, I mean, I would understand if they're gonna charge us more, but, I mean, they're not even upholding their end of the deal now.
It's been a battle because they're saying it was, you know, Lake County engineers that's their, you know, responsibility. Then it comes down to, no, ODOT, it's their responsibility. Now it's coming down to like, no, now it's gonna be the city's responsibility. There's a $5 fee that they takes out for like license plates that goes, they take it out of like each city. And he's actually spending $75,000 out of that to have a firm come in. It's Burgess and Nyepel's gonna be doing it, and they're gonna do like a whole entire evaluation of the streetlights. So, and then they're talking about it's either gonna be $1.5 million for the entire upgrade, getting LEDs like what we have, like right by the Warden Road Bridge. And then, or it's gonna be like, you know, using those existing poles, just to upgrading the lights. Now, those lights, you can't just fix a bulb, you're fixing the entire light. And it's not gonna be, you'd rather fix a bulb than fixing a whole entire family, 'cause it's like 3 different ones going all the way around. So like I said, that's all gonna have to be talked about by numerous people. Joe has a meeting actually on Friday with all the mayors and city managers about that, so he'll probably get informed a little bit more like what's going on. And like I said, they're gonna form a committee where I'm gonna be involved, and all the service directors and everybody's gonna be involved in that, so I'll let you know when that happens.
And I have one more question off that. You and I have talked about the rats problems since it's been on Channel 5 News, the rats in Willowick and Eastlake. And then you and I started having discussions about certain areas. I know your department's working on it the best you can, so I appreciate that. I know we've had numerous phone calls as they come in for residents complaining about certain areas that they see more rats than others, so I want to thank you for your department trying to do what you can with that.
Sure.
Councilman Jaworski?
Getting back to State Route 2, Dave, I have a concern that this could eventually be leading us to having to deal with the plowing of Route 2 during the wintertime. Do you feel it's going down that road at this juncture?
I don't think it's possible, Matt. It would be too much for us to maintain that. I mean, you look at them now, they only do like 1 lane the entire time. Can you imagine like us going on to Route 2? We would have to have, our trucks aren't big enough.
No.
You know,
I absolutely
they're-
agree. I agree, and that's what
They're
concerns me.
definitely not big enough for like something like that. And we're not set up for anything like that at all either. So,
They actually kind of made it a point that the increase in the money was mostly because of the snow plowing and the salt cost and everything. So it sounds like, from what I gathered, most of that fee is for the winter maintenance.
yeah.
And then, you know, because they have so many, they have all the trucks and everything, they'd be stuck with a huge fleet of trucks if they didn't do
Sure.
it. So they actually want to do it because they know it's more economical for everybody to do it that way, but they're gonna charge them more.
Of course.
Councilman Bella?
So Dave, you took the big job in the service department, and we lost another guy, assistant. Are we planning on adding another worker, so laborer?
It's been talked about. We definitely, with an acting foreman now, he still can work, but it's kind of tough for him to, you know, he does a lot for myself and for our department. He's answering pretty much all the phone calls when I can't, you know, go do something. So yes, definitely like another guy would be great, you know, especially with the winter coming up. If it's possible, I mean, I already have a guy in mind that he's one of the guys that work with us now that he's very exceptional. He understands that he does a lot more than a seasonal person normally does, so.
Okay, you may want to talk to Joe about that then.
Councilman Garstein?
So to bring up that, what Councilman Balla asked, because you're down one, you lost an assistant director. Isn't there enough money in your budget now to hire a guy and stay within your budget for your manpower?
Probably, yes.
All right, well, I'm saying your staffing numbers wouldn't change, and since the assistant director was already in your budget, I mean, isn't that feasible to work out a new employee with the budget you have?
Yeah,
So it
probably,
wouldn't-
because it starts, because we have a probationary period, he's on a probationary period for a year, so it's, you know, it's good money, but it's definitely not worth the assistant would be pulling in, yeah.
Right. Well, that should work within your budget without incurring any cost for, more in your budget by adding another gentleman.
I'll talk to him about it too, and like I said, Joe and I brought it up together, we thought, you know, because we need to replace some, you know, just to have that one guy back in there, we need to replace somebody for sure.
All right, thank you.
Sure.
Any further questions or comments for the service director? Thank you, Dave. Building Commissioner Capra.
Thank you, Council President. I was just going to touch base on just a few projects going on in the city. I'm going to go back to Sunset Development. I spoke to a representative from there today. He said that they are obviously removing all that dirt up front. They're going to grade it and hopefully get it seeded within the next couple of weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. That's their plan. That's their goal. We'll see if it happens. Another project was broken ground was Stanley Steamer over on Lakeland Boulevard. They're building a new building, and it's awesome. They're staying in Wickliffe. PCC Airfoils, they started their addition as well, and they're down on 289th. I'm gonna jump over to Ryan Homes. They sold approximately 15 homes on their first day, their first open house.
Wow.
ProBuild also has a couple pre-sold houses as well, so there's gonna be a lot of action over there. Other new homes, not related to Ryan Homes or ProBuild, there's one going on Robindale, East 289th, Bishop Road, and Rockefeller. So a lot of new homes, new constructions going on in the city. I also like to touch base on, everybody knows that we do have an ad out for a new building inspector. We've had it out for a couple weeks now. It's gonna run until the 25th. After the 25th, it's gonna be reviewed, and a test for the position is gonna be on October 9th. So, with that said, I'm asking for a little bit of patience from council and the residents of Wickliffe with my department so I can get it fully staffed. So hopefully, mid-October, we'll have somebody. That's
That
it.
concludes your report. Councilwoman McCoskey.
I don't know if this is for Dino or for Dave, but when you were talking about, dirt, well, where is all the dirt from digging the basements from the old school way? Where is all that dirt gonna go? Do you know?
I'm not sure where they're taking it. They will have to obviously haul it away.
I mean, is it,
That's up to the
A
contractor.
lot of that's gonna remain on site. If you drive down the street, you'll see it's a lot of area behind the lots that will take a good volume of dirt. So that it'll balance.
Councilwoman Jaworski.
Dina, I was just wondering if you had any updates on the demolition of the Premier building.
I do not. I made a phone call today. I didn't get a call back. I got a little sidetracked. I meant to call them earlier to find out they had that information for HVAC, but unfortunately I didn't get that.
Councilman Hartstein.
First of all, Dino, congratulations on your promotion.
Thank you.
And also, I'm sure the residents will be happy to understand that since you've taken over, that the rules and regulations will be fair and consistent going forward.
Absolutely. My goal is to follow city ordinance, building code, and any laws that pertain to my department. I want to treat everybody fairly and be as consistent as I can.
Thank you.
Any further questions or comments for the building commissioner? Councilwoman Saloto.
I did. I just wanted to touch base with you then. I know that you have a lot on your plate at this point. I mean, it sounds like there's a lot. And you're gonna have a new, building inspector, but it's gonna take a while for that guy to get on, or girl, to get on board. So how are you doing? I mean, do you need help from anywhere else? I mean, do you need, maybe with all this new construction, do you need anybody to come in and help in the meantime?
We're gonna see what happens.
Yeah,
I think I'm doing pretty well
okay.
for what we have coming in. Administrative Secretary Patty Levick, I mean, I gotta thank her. She's absolutely wonderful, and she's helping me out quite a bit.
She's amazing, yeah.
Yes,
'Cause you got a lot, so just know, please come and ask.
Yes,
if you
I
need
will.
something.
I will. I'm just getting warmed up.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
All right.
Any further questions or comments for the building commissioner? All right, thank you, Dino. Recreation Director Stubb.
Thank you, Mr. Council President. Just a couple of highlights. We've been having a busy summer. As the mayor said, we had 3 concerts down at the Senior Center, 3 concerts up here. I don't know if you were able to get to the car show. We had over 120 cars down at the car show this year, so it was a really great turnout. So appreciate all your support with that. Movie nights, 2 dive-in movies at the pool. So summer camp program went well. We had different tennis camp, soccer camps that were going on this summer. So another busy summer. I'd like to happily report that we were able to keep everything open from our aquatics standpoint. Our aquatics director worked her magic again to have enough staffing and get everything open. There's definitely a warm, hot summer. Attendance was up a little bit over the summer. We had some additional guest fees coming in, so that was good attendance at Gindra, good attendance at the Sprite Park. So Overall, it was a warm, hot summer for the pools, so that was good. I sent council an email about Green Ridge. We really got hit hard by a fungus. It was a perfect storm over there. Wet spring, early summer, and then within a 2-week period, we had 90-degree heat, and that acted as a petri dish on our greens, and it really burned them out. So, we were trying the best we could to punch the greens, aerate them. We're gonna need a growing season for them to come back, and, it's just so dry right now, and we're in that dry season, but we're moving to this growing season now, so we're gonna do some more aeration and overseed, and hopefully the greens will respond back to that plan of attack. But people are still coming. We decreased our rates to our winter rates with that in mind, that the conditions weren't the best, but the leagues are still playing, still have outings, we still have people coming to the golf course. So that's it. That concludes my report.
Councilwoman McCoskey.
What about golf carts? Did we have any problems with those
No.
this summer?
No, we've been in good shape.
Good.
Councilman Jaworski.
Tim, is there any thoughts or consideration to just closing the course right now so we can get those greens, give them time to recover, give the grass time
Yeah.
to grow?
That's in discussion. That is, I don't have a yes or no for you right this second, but that is definitely something that is in the thought processes here. So yes.
Councilwoman Saloto.
Do we have anybody in particular, any expert that can come and really help with this?
We've had a
Like,
couple,
local?
we've had a couple superintendents come out. The
Okay.
gentleman from Pine Ridge down the street has come out and kind of, concluded the diagnosis that we had.
Right.
So, it's.
Is there a specialist we can get to come and maybe help us, like accelerate the remediation of all this stuff, or?
Yeah, we need someone with that experience, that knowledge, that superintendent type
Right.
knowledge that is, a golf course type kind of guy. So,
I think those guys are out there. Maybe we just hire them for a consultation once or something. Yeah.
yes, we have been in discussion with some of the, like I said, we've had a couple superintendents come out, so yes,
Right.
so.
Okay.
Any further questions or comments for the Recreation Director?
Yeah.
Saloto, I'm sorry, go ahead, sorry.
I'm sorry to harp on this, and
Uh-oh.
Tim, I know you hate it when I do this, but I'm just thinking ahead of time. I just wanna preempt this. We have got to have longer pool hours next year. And I think we need to come up with a plan, like early, about how we're gonna recruit. And we need to think about how we're gonna recruit the lifeguards, how we're gonna staff the pools. I mean, we need to be open longer than August 7th at Gindra. I mean, that's crazy.
We start recruiting first week of January, so.
So then we have to go to the root cause thing, like, what's the reason why we can't hire? And is it because maybe we're not paying enough money? Is it, maybe our salaries aren't high enough?
We bumped our starting rate, so we were able to get to, kids were committing to full-time for us, so that allowed us to staff the pools, for the whole season, so that was a
But it wasn't a
help.
long enough season. I think, most of our citizens will agree. It really isn't long enough. I mean, we've gotta do better than that. So let's try to figure out a way. I mean, I can help, let's try to figure out what we can do.
We did have Ginger open a week longer.
Which is, again, August 7th is not impressive. So, so the fact that we would have closed it a week before that is even crazier. So, we need to think about this more. And I know I keep harping on it, but it's a big deal. I get calls constantly. Maybe it's because, Gindra, it's not all a lot of young kids. Adults like to use it after work, and it's an amenity that we should have open. It's a beautiful park, a beautiful pool, so, and I get a lot of calls about
Sure.
that. So let's try to, you and me,
Okay,
let's try to figure something out, okay.
Okay, any further questions or comments for the Recreation Director? Thank you, Tim. I'll now open the floor for audience participation. If anyone would like to address with the City Council, please stand, state your name for the clerk's record, name and address. This meetings are on YouTube, so we have to use a microphone so that the audience can't hear you. Each person will have a 5-minute maximum amount of time. Would anyone like to address with the city council? Yes, Ms. Jewell.
Pat Jewell, I live at 2162 Rockefeller. I've got 2 very quick items. One, I brought this up a couple years ago, and they're still spraying poison all over my street for mosquitoes that are not carrying West Nile virus. The incidence is extremely low. The incidence of sickness is extremely low. Nobody's even had it for a couple of years. And they're still spraying poison because they say it's safer than having mosquitoes. It's not. I'm recommending now, before we get to the next season, that we get a committee together with some of the scientists, maybe some of the biology teachers, those of us who are concerned about poison being sprayed out in the gardens, the lawns, our grandchildren, thank you. I would like to get that going somehow before we get to next season, so we don't have to spend money spraying poison on ourselves, okay? Second item, and I'm hearing all that we have to pay for Route 2. We have a lot of things we need to pay for. Sorry, and I'm going to address this to you, Joe. You know I have supported you in the past, and I think you've done some really good things as mayor. I am concerned that right now I'm hearing a lot about trying to get rid of term limits and a lot about trying to become full-time.
That's false out of my mouth. Other people bring it up all the time. I signed up for what I signed up for.
Okay.
Sorry to interject. I just want to cut because I heard this amongst the round.
Well, you can understand my concern too. That's not what we need, to spend the money on.
Wickliffe is the only city in Lake County that has term limits on mayor. So all that came up saying, okay, well, and council doesn't have term limits, so why isn't it one or the other? At the end of the day, if I'm lucky enough to get elected to my second term, 8 years, I'm good. Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean? My whole thing in the beginning was, all right, why start over? Why are we starting over every 8 years? But it is. It's a fight that I just think I'm not willing to fight about it. But other people bring it up. You need to get rid of it. It's not up to me. Should the residents be able to decide? It would be up to the residents. It would be at the end of the day, but it's in the charter. So, but that's not something, there's more things to worry about at this point, but
that's my concern too, right?
More
like,
than happy
we need to be making sure that this city had over 21,000 people in it in 1970, right? I'm the biggest class that ever graduated from Wickliffe was in the 70s. And we had a part-time mayor because it's all we needed. And we now have 16,000 something, right? So we don't need to take the money that's needed for other things to do that. That's my concern.
So just a little bit on that. We also, what's our total budget? You do have a pot, okay, and I get it, but it does have to be looked at in the future. You have a part-time mayor dealing with a $30 million budget.
32.
A lot of stuff falls on the mayor, and so Wickliffe, which is 1,000 more residents than us, they're at full time, no term limits in mayor, and Dave Anderson of Willoughby says things all the time where it took him 7 years just to get going, So again, I'm good with the way it is, but in the future it definitely needs looked at.
Right.
I will say that.
Okay, well, you know me, I'm going to address my
I know.
concerns
You'll
to
see
you,
that.
right? So,
I'm good
all
with
right.
that, yeah.
Thank you.
Would anyone else like to address Wickliffe City Council?
Michael Borsich, 30236 Overlook Drive. I wanted to thank personally Ed Levon for his bureaucratically speaking lightning fast response. I emailed him on Sunday of last week about amending minutes of council that were published April 15th of 2024, and that was concerning the topic of term limits. And I was just going through the minutes and just happened to notice that it was commented that the majority of council voted no. And I thought it was important enough to actually have the roll call say who was in support of that and who was against that issue. just for the record. So that's the first time. So thank you for that, for looking into that, Ed. And second thing, Mr. Mayor, just curious, how do you delegate, arrange, and for park inspections? So I just kind of doing some casual strolls to the parks. I know that Dave has, go ahead.
So we have a Parks and Rec Commission, right, and they do a park tour every year. And they go to every park and they give him a list. And our service department, I've seen all the things about the parks, our service department is well aware of every nook and cranny at every single park. The problem is prioritizing. We have 17 guys, or 17, 20 total guys, mechanics.
23 with mechanics.
Well, right, it's seasonal, but that's also part-time. We used to have 34, like I said before. I'm all good with hiring 4 more, but that's not my call. But they have to prioritize, and I think they do a darn good job of what they do. We have a recreation director that's got, so, and I rely on Parks and Rec Commission, I rely on my service department, and I rely on my recreation director to make sure we're getting the things that we need, right away. But some of the things at the parks, they're eventually, if it were an easy fix, it would have already been done. So if he's telling me reasons why certain things aren't done, then I gotta take him, and trust my administrator.
I appreciate that, thank you.
Would anyone else like to address Wickliffe City Council? Mr. Bishop?
Ian Bishop, 28841 Ridge Road. Mr. Mayor, there seems to be multiple rumors around the city right now that you have taken kickbacks in cash and or vacations from one or more Wickliffe business owners in the past. Is that true?
It's 100% false.
Well, there's rumors out there.
Well, I'm sure it's a campaign.
That's fine.
Absolutely.
Now, Mr. Mayor, one more question. What do you say about a city vehicle, your vehicle going past my house on a Sunday, flipping me the bird, your passenger, and my kids even saw that?
So, I saw the post on Facebook, and me nor my family are in the business of flipping off residents. When we passed your house, it was the first time that we saw one of my opponent's sign, and my wife pointed at my opponent's sign. If that's what would have happened, Mr. Bishop, I wouldn't have pulled into City Hall right across the street. And then you came, and then you said that I was harassing you, and see, you were coming up here taking pictures of my vehicle, and I have nothing to hide. I did not. So you're saying that what are you exactly saying, that one of us flipped?
Excuse me, this is gonna be he said, she said things. Hey, guys, we're not gonna settle here in a council meeting, so.
This is wasting time.
Not only that, Joe, hold on, I got the floor. Yeah, that's a conversation or something's gonna happen.
That's not very nice.
But you're saying that, accusing me of taking kickbacks from business, that's absolutely,
I'm not.
You addressed it, Mayor, you addressed it, you answered the question.
It's a rumor.
All right, listen, I got the floor. That's it. I mean, you answered the question. Mr. Bishop, you have any more input?
No, I have nothing else.
Thank you, sir. Would anyone else like to address Wickliffe City Council? Go ahead, sir.
All right, Mike Coleman, 2500 Dead Man's Curve, Rockefeller Road. Okay, I stood before council a couple years ago and requested exactly what Councilwoman Koski commented on, and that is speed humps, at least for Rockefeller. And I've heard other people address this council asking for the same things for their roads. I did some research. I left research packets for everybody to look at, which kind of pointed out the reasons why I thought that they were reasonable. Some of my research involved talking to Chief Mecklenburg, now retired from Cleveland Heights Police Department. She had informed me at the time that there were grants available for installing those. I don't know if that's still the case, but that's something that probably should be looked at. For anybody who's not familiar with them, these are 14-foot long parabolic devices that you put in the road at speed, feel like driving a boat across the water.
Above speed, they're pretty painful. So they will entice people to slow down without the need for enforcement. The speed sign that you put up, that has had an effect in the curve. Prior to that, not so much. And having speed controlled over a distance is just as important as slowing it down for the curve. Matter of fact, people driving north tend to encroach on the southbound lane. That's been cut down since the speed sign. There's a big difference. But still, when I get home from work and I've moved my working hours so I'm not coming home at rush hour, I sometimes still have 5 people behind me when I cleared Eddy Road, there was nobody. So that right there tells you there's a big difference in speeds. Couple photographs I have, people passing me across a yellow line. Well, I'm trying to make a turn in my driveway. All right, both northbound and southbound. One of these pictures, I think it's this one right here, shows a silver or gray vehicle passing going south. I believe he actually climbed the curb, and my guess is at the same house where they had the lemonade stand. Had the kids been out there selling lemonade at the time, and I've seen them in the past, I haven't seen them this year. That could have been a pretty nasty event. So again, I'm going to ask one more time if we could please look into getting those installed. And for anybody who's got any doubt, again, I want to point out that, was it Pine Ridge? Down in Orange, that mall down in Orange. I believe it's Harvard. Pinecrest. On their eastern drive behind the shops, they employ these speed humps. They're actually built into the road. They're permanent, not the temporary ones that Councilwoman Kowski asked about. And there's other places too that, thank you, that have them. Drive over them. They're not offensive at all, and they are effective. So, any questions? Yes.
I do, because it's my neighborhood.
I know it is.
Well, where would you suggest putting them? I mean, before you get to the curb?
Oh yeah.
And so they would be temporary, like for winter we could pull them up, is that what you're saying?
That could be done. Personally, there's 2 places on Rockefeller I'd like to see them. One is down by Luxana. You want to get it early, again, entice the slower speed, and then down by the high school. One of the things that they use these things for, and this was where the speed hump versus speed table came in. The speed tables were defined as being used as crosswalks. All right, that gives you your handicapped access, it gives you your enticement to slow down. So it had multiple benefits, right? But try them out on Rockefeller. Rush Road would be another good example of place to install them. Bishop, not ideal, but I've seen cars come flying down that. And then you don't have a long stopping distance available to Euclid. So,
Okay, thank you, sir. Appreciate your input. You sir back there.
Hello, Nick Latanzio, 1585 Rush Road. Speaking today, I heard about the motion to prohibit short-term rentals in the city. I purchased my home in 2021, lived there for 3.5 years before moving in with my girlfriend this past fall. I didn't want to sell my home, so I converted to a short-term rental Airbnb. Been working with my friend Chad back here. He's been helping me out co-hosting, and if I could turn over the mic to him, he has more information.
Go ahead, Chad, if you give your name and address, please.
Yes, my name is Chad Gorley, and I live at 584 Lloyd Road. So, my friend Nick here, we've been talking a little bit, and I just got to kind of put something out there. How many of you like to travel in this room? Show of hands, right? People like to travel, right? How many of you, when you travel, always like to stay in hotels? Okay, always, all right. How many of you like to stay in Airbnbs when you go travel? Exactly, right? That's all I stay in, and I travel everywhere. And a lot of people are traveling in this manner. Now, I understand there's concerns about parties being going on in the city, which is something neither of us want, right? It's very harmful to what we're doing to begin with to have a party. And in doing that, we propose actually putting more of a responsible regulation in place for having short-term rentals, for which we have actually a guide that we put together and printed. I've been hosting and helping host my own space at one point in time and other places, and I've, in the past 3 years, never had a party at any of them. And that's the goal. When you're doing this, you don't want to have parties. You don't want to have people that are going to be bad for the neighborhood. Because imagine this. Imagine you are growing up here your entire life, and you move away, and you go and have a family, but your family's still here. Now, you come back and you look at the hotel offerings in this area, which aren't very many, and they're not the nicest, to be honest with you. It's not something, the reason I don't stay in a hotel when I go visit places is I want an oven. I want a place to cook things. I want to also be able to experience the community, walk around, and not just be in a very heavy traffic area. And this is a lot of the things that we have even in our reviews, which I have also something to submit to you guys as well today. Because it's important to us to start thinking about responsible aspects of this versus the irresponsible things that are going on and that we hear about and get notoriety. This is something I know that's being determined also at the state level at this point in time. I know they're voting on this and they're looking at this, which might be something that's also why you guys are considering this too. But instead of just looking at banning them and not taking a broader approach to looking at this, I think it does a disservice because people would want to come to this community. If they have a family, they don't want to stay in a hotel. There's so many people going to Airbnbs that have great experiences. And I think it's just really something that could be of value for your communities. Now, there's people that are banning it, like Willoughby Hills, a complete ban, misdemeanor 1. That's comparable to what? An assault without a weapon? I mean, that's a pretty heavy thing to put on people for something like this. Could you fine people? Certainly. I think that's what Willowwick's doing, if I'm not mistaken. You can do stages of fining, which is something we've presented in this as well. So I don't want to take up too much of your time. If you guys have questions, that's awesome. Can we hand you this information for you guys to have?
I'll leave it there. We'll pick it up.
Okay,
after the
all
meeting.
right. Thank you for your time. And,
All right, thank you. Would anyone else like to address Wickliffe City Council? Would anyone else like to address Wickliffe City Council? If not, I'll mark audience participation closed. Any committee reports? Commission reports. Councilman Gerhardstein.
The Board of Zoning Appeals met on July 24th, 2025. Meeting was called to order at 7 p.m. for case 2025-105. On June 20th, 2025, Loretto Eiflis Jr. of Loretto Lincoln Davis LLC made application for 2 variances for old school lofts between lots 12 and 13 and 17 and 18 located at 1721 Lincoln Road in our multifamily district. On chapter 1309.56 for yards from multifamily dwellings, section C for schedule of yard dimensions states secondary walls facing a secondary wall across an open area shall be 31 feet. The requirement was 31 feet. They requested 25 feet. The variance was 6 feet, so the requested variance was only 20%. Their second was chapter 1309.56 yards for multifamily dwellings. Yard for multifamily dwellings in a multifamily district required was 30 feet, the requested was 20, the variance was 10 feet, so the requested variance was 30%. After much discussion, the board granted both variances. The meeting adjourned at 7:20 p.m. The Board of Zoning Appeals met on August 28, 2025. The meeting was called to order at 7 p.m. for the purpose of case 2025-106. On July 30th, 2025, Anthony and Stephen LaCourte made application for a variance for the total maximum building area to a new construction in a residential dwelling in an R150 residential district located on permanent lot 29B 007 chart C 000590 at 1528 Robindale. Chapter 1309, lot area width dimensions, percentage of lot coverage, front yard, side yard, and rear yard for height. The required maximum building space is 1,440 square feet. They requested 1,584. The variance was 144 square feet for a variance of 10%. After much discussion, the board granted the variance. The meeting adjourned at 7:20.
Councilman Jaworski.
Planning Commission met on July 3rd, 2025. and granted a request for final subdivision plat for Old School Village. They also granted a request for preliminary subdivision plat approval for Old School lofts/townhomes. And they held a request for information and guidance from Chapter 1341 dealing with zoning amending procedures for a parcel located at 29B-010-00000150 in a institutional recreational district. The Planning Commission met on August 7th, 2025. The Planning Commission approved the rezoning per chapter 1341 in an IR district, which I believe, Mr. Council President, is going to be on the agenda coming up. They also approved a request for lot split located at 29801 Euclid Avenue in a commercial manufacturing district, and gave information and guidance to build an addition for Vineyard Community Church located at 1928 East 300 Street in an R150 residential district. Planning Commission met on September 4th, 2025, and approved a request for a parking plan approval to allow construction of an addition at 28400 Euclid Avenue in an IR district. And we also approved a lot split located at 2690 Bishop Road in an IR district as well. The Architectural Review Board met on July 3rd and approved the plans and specs from Lordo Eiflis Jr. For the townhomes at Old School Lofts located at 1521 Lincoln Road. And then on September 4th, approved the plans and designs for two homes located within the Old School Way, and also approved the designs for a Telshe Yeshiva, a Rabbinical College, for an addition to a building there located at 28400 Euclid Avenue. Of note, though, for that meeting in particular was Planning Commission realized there was an oversight within the Architectural Review Code that there's nothing that specifically addresses institutional and recreational. As such, Planning Commission will be discussing this at our next meeting with a goal to present something to council thereafter.
Thank you, Councilman. Is that it?
That's it.
Any other commission reports? Move on to, seeing no old business, move on to new business, 13.1, Mayor.
I would like to appoint Miss Karen Sullivan to Keep Wickliffe Beautiful Commission. Miss Sullivan will fulfill the unexpired term of Bill Suvella. Miss Sullivan's term will expire December 31st of 2026.
Councilman Hartstein.
I make a motion, we approve the mayor's appointment of Karen Sullivan to the Keep Wickliffe Beautiful Commission to a term to expire December 31st, 2026.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Hartstein, seconded by Councilwoman Saloto, to reaffirm the mayor's appointment of Karen Sullivan to the Keep Wickliffe Beautiful Commission with a term to expire December 31st, 2026. Discussion? Sandy, please call the roll.
Ballard.
Yes.
Gerhardstein.
Yes.
Jaworski.
Yes.
Kowski.
Yes.
Levon.
Yes.
Saloto.
Yes.
Thielman.
Yes.
Okay. New business 13.2. As the Councilman Jaworski read in his Planning Commission report, there was a hearing on August 8th where the Planning Commission received a discussion of a proposed zoning change from institutional recreational to residential R175 at 2690 Bishop Road, also known as parcel number 29-B-010000012-0. The Planning Commission did make their approval for recommendation. So City Council, I'll call for a public hearing on October 1st at 7 p.m. here in Council Chambers to discuss the requested lot split at 2690 Bishop Road. And then we'll move on to new business 13.3, the bid presentation acceptance for 2025 concrete pavement slab replacement program. Mr. Formica?
Thank you, Council President. On August 28th, we opened bids for the 2025 concrete pavement slab replacement program, which is predominantly 300th Street slabs. This is a Ohio Public Works funded project where we're receiving approximately 45% funding for the work on this project. As I said, we received 7 bids. The low bidder being A&J Cement Contractors, who's done multiple projects for us in the city. We have no issues with recommending award of this project to them.
Councilmember Hartstein?
I recommend that we accept the bid from AJ Cement Contractors Incorporated at 297 900 Lakeland Boulevard, Euclid, Ohio, for the lowest bid on the 2025 concrete slab replacement for $157,545.
Second.
Moved by Councilmember Hartstein, seconded by Councilwoman Sloto to accept the 2025 concrete pavement slab replacement bid of AJ Cement at Cement Contractor Incorporated at 27900 Lakeland Boulevard, Euclid, Ohio 44132, at a price of $157,545 as the lowest and best bid and rejecting all others. Discussion? Sandy, please call the roll.
Yes.
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 Levon. Yes.
Saloto. Yes.
Sealman.
Yes.
All right, chapter 13, or 13.4, chapter 1341 rezoning. Councilmember Hartstein.
Well, as we looked at 1341, we changed that about 2 years ago. And now that it's been 2 years of going through some zoning changes and discussion with the law director and the council clerk on the procedure, it seems to be a little cumbersome on the timeframes and the back and forth. So I would like to know if we could put that in committee and the law director, and we can get together with Councilman Jaworski, who's on the planning commission, and try to work out some of the bugs that are in that to help move that along, and it's not so confusing for the city and the people trying to do a rezoning.
I would recommend we put it at the Legislation and Welfare Committee since it's the chapter 1341. Okay. Anything else on that topic?
I guess,
Councilman Jaworski, go ahead.
just, Randy is correct. We've had issues lately with the Planning Commission trying to establish specific dates and other things per that ordinance. So I really do think that this time we've gone along with it as long as we have, and it's time that we took a serious look at it again and took it to the next step now to make, I think, things more clear, where we don't have things falling through cracks or misunderstandings in terms of dates and when things have to be triggered, this and that and the other.
I would like to recommend that we allow the clerk to attend that. She does most of the publicizing in the newspaper, and this is where sometimes it gets confusing for everybody involved. There's a timeline that was set, and if you don't stay within the timeline, it usually causes problems. So when we hold that meeting, I'd like the clerk to attend that. So,
Councilman, all meetings are open for the public, for one, and two, if you, as the council chairman of that committee, you can recommend and have her speak as well.
Thank you.
Excuse me, Randy, I would also ask that anybody from Planning Commission, including Chairman McGraw.
We will open, when we have that, hold that legislation, I'll send a letter to the Planning Commission and invite, we'll make it like a workshop like we did for the zoning.
That'd be wonderful.
Anything on this topic? Okay, if not, we'll go to 13.5, the CRA residential application. Councilman Hartstein.
I have a phone call from, and I'm sure it's something to do with what the mayor was talking about earlier, but our CRA residential application that they download online seems a bit confusing. And I talked to Councilman Thielman, and he'd like to speak on that also, about the application that we have.
Yeah, I think some of the information that we're asking for after the application might not be appropriate for every project. And maybe we could tighten that up, what is required for the applicant. I saw Loretto at church on Sunday, and he said, hey, they're asking for all these invoices and, itemized lists of costs, and Ryan Homes is not gonna provide any of that. And they were willing to just provide a purchase agreement, which I think would suffice for the CRA. And most cities have like a one-page app that they fill out, so we could just take a look at that.
Sure.
Is that where you were at?
Well, someone's requesting one,
Okay,
so, yeah.
okay. Similar.
That's right.
Councilman Thielman and I were approached about the application being somewhat, over.
Overkill,
Oh,
that's
sure.
right, so.
So we could just put that in the committee of the whole. Anybody else have any other opinions on this topic? Or we can save it for when we have that meeting. Okay, then I will put CRA residential applications into the committee of the whole. That concludes new business, and we'll move on to ordinances.
Ordinance number 2025-35, an ordinance amending chapter 769 tourist homes and motels of the codified ordinances of the city of Wickliffe, Ohio, to include section 769.04 short-term rental prohibition in a residential district, and amending section 769.99 penalty, and declaring an emergency. This is technically the second reading.
Stay on second reading.
Ordinance number 2025-39, an ordinance levying special assessments for the improvement of streets within the city of Wickliffe, Ohio by supplying said street with electric street lighting and declaring an emergency.
Suspension.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Hartstein, seconded by Councilman Thielman, to suspend the rules of council and place ordinance 2025-39 on third and final reading. Discussion? Sandy, please call the roll.
Gallo.
Yes.
Gerhardstein.
Yes.
Jaworski.
Yes.
Kowski.
Yes.
Levon.
Yes.
Soloto.
Yes.
Thielman.
Yes. Adoption. Second?
Moved by Councilman Thielman, seconded by Councilman Ballot, to adopt ordinance 2025-39 as presented. Discussion? Sandy, please call the roll.
Gallo.
Yes.
Gerhardstein.
Yes.
Jaworski.
Yes.
Kowski.
Yes.
Levon.
Yes.
Soloto.
Yes.
Thielman.
Yes.
Ordinance passes.
Ordinance number 2025-40, excuse me. An ordinance providing appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the city of Wickliffe, Ohio for the period beginning January 1st, 2025 and ending December 31st, 2025, and declaring an emergency.
Suspension.
Second?
Moved by Councilwoman Saloto, seconded by Councilman Ballot, to suspend the rules of council and place ordinance 2025-40 on third and final reading. Discussion? Sandy, please call the roll.
Gallo.
Yes.
Gerhardstein.
No.
Jaworski.
Yes.
Kowski.
Yes.
Levon.
Yes.
Soloto.
Yes.
Thielman.
Yes.
Adoption.
Second?
Moved by Councilwoman Saloto, seconded by Councilman Ballot, to adopt ordinance 2025-40 as presented. Discussion? Sandy, please call the roll.
Gallo.
Yes.
Gerhardstein.
No.
Jaworski.
Yes.
Kowski.
Yes.
Levon.
Yes.
Soloto.
Yes.
Thielman.
Yes.
Ordinance passes.
Ordinance number 2025-41, an ordinance authorizing the mayor of the city of Wickliffe, Ohio to enter into a settlement agreement with Antonio Corporation et al. And declaring an emergency.
Suspension.
Second?
Moved by Councilman Thielman, seconded by Councilman Ballot, to suspend the rules of council and place ordinance 2025-41 on third and final reading. Discussion? Sandy, please call the roll.
Gallo.
Yes.
Gerhardstein.
No.
Jaworski.
No.
Kowski.
No.
Levon.
Yes.
Soloto.
No.
Thielman.
Yes.
Okay, the suspension fails. We'll go on second reading.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor of the city of Wickliffe, Ohio to enter into a contract with A&J Cement Contractors, Inc. for the 2025 concrete pavement slab replacement program and declaring an emergency.
Suspension.
Second?
Moved by Councilman Hartstein, seconded by Councilman Ballot, to suspend the rules of council and place ordinance 2025-42 on third and final reading. Discussion? Sandy, please call the roll.
Gallo.
Yes.
Gerhardstein.
Yes.
Jaworski.
Yes.
Kowski.
Yes.
Levon.
Yes.
Soloto.
Yes.
Thielman.
Yes.
Adoption.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Hartstein, seconded by Councilman Thielman, to adopt ordinance 2025-42 as presented. Discussion? Sandy, please call the roll.
Gallo.
Yes.
Gerhardstein.
Yes.
Jaworski.
Yes.
Kowski.
Yes.
Levon.
Yes.
Soloto.
Yes.
Thielman.
Yes.
Ordinance passes. Resolutions?
Resolution number 2025-12, a resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor and declaring an emergency.
Suspension.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Hartstein, second by Councilman Ballard, to suspend the rules of council and place Resolution 2025-12 on third and final reading. Discussion? Sandy, please call the roll.
Ballard.
Yes.
Gerhardstein.
Yes.
Jaworski.
Yes.
Kowski.
Yes.
Levon.
Yes.
Soloto. Yes. Thielman.
Yes. Adoption.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Thielman, second by Councilman Ballard, to adopt Resolution 2025-12 as presented. Discussion? Sandy, please call the roll.
Ballard.
Yes.
Gerhardstein.
Yes.
Jaworski.
Yes.
Kowski.
Yes.
Levon.
Yes.
Soloto. Yes. Thielman.
Yes.
Resolution passes.
Resolution number 2025-13, a resolution requesting the Lake County, Ohio auditor to make advance payment of taxes.
Other legislation? Miscellaneous? I'm gonna call for a committee of the whole meeting for 9/15, Monday, September 15th at 7 p.m. to discuss CRA residential application and the CRA for Old School Way.
For the next Monday?
That's next Monday, the 15th.
I'm not gonna be able to attend.
Can you attend?
I can't make it.
I can't make it either.
All right, then I'm gonna change that then. Let's go with the 29th. September 29th at 7 p.m. for that, for the Old School Way and CRA residential application. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Any other miscellaneous? Entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Gerhardstein, second by Councilman Thielman to adjourn the meeting. Discussion? Sandy, please call the roll.
Ballard.
Yes.
Gerhardstein.
Yes.
Jaworski.
Yes.
Kowski.
Yes.
Levon.
Yes.
Soloto. Yes. Thielman.
Yes.
Thank you. See you Thursday.